How am I gonna find the perfect game? What if I don't even own the perfect game? Screw that genie and his stupid quest.
I heard that.
Ah! Alright, so you can hear my thoughts and make all my cheating accessories float.
I can travel through time. I speak 29 languages, and I can even make you crap your pants on command.
Crap my pants? You're insane! And I'm not doing your stupid quest, so just leave me alone.
You will not defy me, mortal.
Ah! Oh yeah? And if I don't find the perfect game, what are you gonna? Oh, what? This is not where I parked my car.
Welcome, mortal.
Zordon? Am I a Power Ranger? Oh, dude, I'm totally a Power Ranger. Do we get to pick our Zord animals, or how does this work?
I am Gaia, the source for all life. I will help you on your journey.
For real? Another cosmic asshat telling me that I'm the one.
Typical Monday. You've been given a quest to find the perfect game.
Oh, believe me, I know.
I can help you find your inner gaming strength, and with this power you will be able to overcome and dominate any game you encounter.
Okay, so crapping my pants on command, floating heads, dominating games, you know, it's all too much. What's a brother gotta do to get some peace and quiet from all you interstellar floating chodes?
Will.
Who is Will?
Oh, sorry, Freedom.
Who the hell is Frieden?
Shadow?
Okay, got it. You're just as psycho as the game genie. You know what? Where's the exit? I gotta take a wicked deuce.
Before I can allow you to embark on your fecal emancipation adventure, I must show you the gaming power that lies within you. Walk to the statue to receive your power.
Whatever, Bo. I'll dominate your stupid statue. Dude, not cool.
Now go forth, Will.
My name is not Will.
Use your new ability to complete your quest.
Hey, why don't you just poof me out of this abyss hole?
Very well.
My name's not Frieden, Mr. Oz. Genie, I'll use the toilet. No. Please, no. 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 Oh, I swear I'll never drink again. Oh, man. What the hell is this? Illusions of Gaia. For real? That flying butt munch has his own game? Well, how bad can it be?
So this is the infamous Illusions of Gaia, the second in the series of games, starting with Soul Blazer and ending with Terranigma. They aren't a trilogy of one story, they are separate games, all made by Quintet, that have a lot of similar aspects. So there's no need to play Soul Blazer first, or anything else you robo-nerds will comment on.
You know, you should really play Soul Blazer first, cause chronologically speaking, and him doing it,
You play as Will, a seemingly random boy who discovers that he has some kind of inner psychological power. He steps into a dark space where Gaia tells him that he, among everyone else, has to save the world. Ah, never heard that plot before. Equipped with only your flute, you leave town to start a Jethro Tull cover band. As cool as that would be for a Super Nintendo game, your journey is to save the world instead. Illusions of Gaia is considered an RPG, but the leveling system is very unique and can get a bit frustrating if you aren't someone who has to get everything in every level, aka a completionist. As you defeat the final enemy in a room, you will get a random power-up that will increase a stat. That's right, it's random. Conform to the socialist programming that is Illusions of Gaia. There are only 3 skills to upgrade: health, defense, and power. So it's hard to care that you don't get to pick the power-up. The issue is that every power-up that you leave behind only makes you that much weaker as the game progresses. This game element only encourages genocide, something some would consider yet another socialist way of thought. Maybe. Alright, back to the game. Illusions of Gaia mixes action, strategy, puzzle solving, and role-playing almost perfectly, as well as maintains a solid and entertaining storyline. There's the whole world-ending thing going on, inner growth of the main character, multiple love stories, and the underlining story of all the locations that you visit. That's right, all you history freaks, be ready! You get to visit the Inca ruins, the Nazca lines, the Great Wall of China, and, the void between space and time. Illusions of Gaia uses your typical RPG mechanics. Fight the bad guys, figure out the puzzle, find the item, and fight the boss. What makes this game unique is the changing of characters. In some dark spaces, Will can transform into Fabio. I mean Frieden. He actually has a sword. How about that? Also, some dark spaces give you abilities to help aid your journey. Will gets Psycho Dash. Frieden gets Dark Friar, and so forth. All of these are just a fancy way to solving the puzzle of the level. You really don't get the freedom of choosing who you want to play with.
More socialist propaganda? You be the judge.
There is no currency. You don't get new weapons. There is no armor system. And there's no open world. So is this really an RPG? Or just a fancy action game with a story? Whatever you consider it, Illusions of Gaia has a lot of fun elements to it. You just have to really want to see them. Battling monsters with your flute is actually pretty difficult. You only get one weapon, so you better be pretty freaking good with it. As you progress, the enemies become more strategic, forcing you to know when to strike, when to block, and when to dodge. This makes the game based more on skill than stats. No grinding to higher levels in this game. Boss battles are the main focus of this game. Since you can't make your character any better than they allow, you're again forced to use skill to defeat the enemy. Most bosses have a pattern to be manipulated, and some just require brute force to take down. These battles are the only time I've ever felt the need to use the one healing item in the entire game. That's right, folks. There's only one item you use the entire game. Just one. Not two items, not two versions of the same item, just one item. An herb restores some health, but since there's no currency, you only get a set number of herbs throughout the game, so ration them accordingly.
Rationing food. Sounds kinda like... you know.
The storyline is multi-layered, so I won't go into it and spoil the story, but there are a few really odd moments in the game, moments that make you question what you're playing. There's the scene where you force a crying princess to eat raw fish. How about the scene where your friend Hamlet cooks himself so you don't have to get eaten by cannibals? How about the part where you watch someone burn to death? How can I forget the hieroglyphic penises on the wall? Yeah, I'll take an order of Egyptian beef whistle. At least it's not Tutankhamun. Is that an Ankh? Or are you just glad to see me? The character you see in the video is Shadow, another character you can morph into for just the last level. Again, nothing special. He is used solely for puzzling purposes. And honestly, they don't even go into Shadow's story other than a few text boxes, but he ends up being the only form strong enough to defeat the final boss. Almost as though you're playing an entirely new game in which a blue guy throws phoenixes at Gaia the Hutt. Once you figure out how to beat Gaia the Hutt, be prepared for the longest, slowest, most drawn-out ending sequence in the history of retro gaming. I mean, look at this. It's brutal. I've seen faster reading speeds on Sesame Street. I timed it. 26 minutes of storyline, none of which includes anything about the entire game you just got done playing through. If you're totally invested in this storyline, I guess it's worth watching, but I recommend using your time for a much more worthy cause.
The peon enemies you fight in the game all have different strategies, making it more than just a hack and slash. Learning all of their moves and how to use the character gives you a sense of accomplishment based on the skills you develop throughout the game. The boss battles are a perfect trophy to the puzzle solving, and you truly feel like you've achieved your goal. It does get a little redundant to use the same weapon the entire game, but you soon forget about that because the rest of the game fills in the holes. Some of the boss battles are a total controller chucker, but the bulk of the game isn't too bad. The most difficult parts are definitely found in the puzzling. There are a few spots where figuring out the next event in the sequence will have you making laps around the cities. And since there's only one weapon and 3 power-ups that are mainly used for puzzling, you develop skills needed to battle rather quickly. I feel as though they designed the difficulty around a younger audience. I only got one word for this soundtrack. Amazing. It has a few exciting Mega Man-like tracks, but overall the soundtrack is for the more mellow crowd. Each beautifully orchestrated song really sets the mood for each section of the game. What more can I say other than amazing? The replay value will greatly vary from person to person. It's easily a one-and-done game, but the other half of the crowd will argue that the laid-back feel and the fluid action give it an appeal worthy of keeping in the rotation. I think it has great replay value, but it's a solid time investment, so it tends to be pushed aside for titles with shorter game length. Also, if I'm in the RPG mood, there are a ton of other games with much more content and much more RPG elements. So again, it tends to take a back seat to that category as well. Boom! There you go, Genie. Dark Gaia's defeated. The world has been saved, and everyone lives happily ever after. With a story like that, how can this not be the greatest game ever?
Not the greatest game.
Oh, come on! Fast-paced action, character progression, multiple storylines. This is it. This has to be it.
Sorry, bro. The princess is in another castle.
The princess is in another castle. Douche.